one thing I wasn't really going to bring up, but because but somebody asked me, to do a video on numbers. Here's the thing about it: 9, 11 is actually a significant ratio in my number system, my base 120 number system, even though I really need to not focus too much on the base 120 number system. What I need to do is I need to learn algebra, and I also need to learn high level math at some point, but I need to learn these cards that I wrote down, which are multiples of numbers in base 10 that go up to a very high number. And if I am able to do that, I can easily convert things to whatever base I might need. But there are two versions of the base 120 number system. There are the argamic type glyphs, which are the ones I've made that I still haven't decided whether or not I want to show them on YouTube, because these glyphs are really hard to make. I wanted to make them unique from Argam's system, and you have no idea how hard that is to do when you have 120 symbols you're trying to make. But there's this other system that's a mixed radix, and it's a base 10 and it's base 12 also. But what I also call it is this. I call it the 911. Number radix system. And I differentiate between pure base 10, pure base 12, and a mix between the two by making the symbols different depending on what, where the ratio is. Essentially, what I do it like this. Okay, 0 is kind of like a joker. It can be in any position in the radix. It can be in a tens position, or it can be in or a 12s position, or it can be in one of the 11. There's 9 multiples of 12, and there's 11 digits. So what we got is we got 1, 2, 3, 4, as usual, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which are the usual numbers that we recognize, in base 10. And unlike trying to play pull an Eric Larson and try to say these are the originals, and then there's Deck and L, and they came from mixed radix, and all this conspiracy theory nonsense. Instead, I made a base 12 that is unique, that has its own characteristics. So I got 1 there, and these numbers are actually based on the they're actually heavily based on proto-Sinaitic. So you got 1, you got 2, you got 3, 4, right? 5, you may notice, still kind of has the resemblance to a man a little bit, but it's converted into a symbol. So you got 5, 6, 7, right? 8 is a little bit different because it's been Convert it into this glyphic form. It could go in either direction, though. Then there's 9, which is a little bit creative. That's 9. And then there's dec and L, which goes like that. That's the base 12 system, where each one's different, and that's the base 10 system where each one's different. Now, if you want to combine the two, what I do is I use these as multiples of 12, and I use these as the units. So it's a system of 9, and it's a system of 11. The highest number you can actually write is 9, followed by L. So 9 and L, which is 9, 11, which translates into base 10 as 11, 9, which is essentially the same as 7 times 17, and 17 in base 12. Radix would be 1 followed by 5. So if you wanted to write 1/7, you could write 0.1, and then you could put the decimal digit there, and that is a single unified digit place, which represents 1/7 in base 120. That's a line at the top, which represents that number repeats. So it translates as 0.17171717 forever. Okay. It's 1/7. That's 1 out of 7. One other example you could give is an eighth. 0.123, which is a whole. You wouldn't have a line at the top because it's a whole fraction. So that's 1 out of 8. And another example would be 1 out of 5, which is 0.2. Okay, and that 1 out of 5. And there's many other examples that you could give to how a mixed radix of 9 and a mixed radix of 11 could work in a number system. But that's basically understanding the values. And then the argamic-like system would be for advanced users. When users understand all these multiples of 12 inside and out, and they know how to get their mind around a mixed radix, then they can use 120 symbols if they wish. I recommend that you study base 10, which is what I need to do, and you study base 12, which is what I also need to do. And if you understand how to do that, then this mixed radix system will work better if you actually want to get into it. A mixed radix system is quite confusing, if you're not used to it. But essentially, everything over here uses base 10 logic. Everything here uses base 12 logic, and you kind of have to shift the logic, as you go along each digit. Right. But if we're good enough to use base 10, if we try hard enough, we could probably also use base 12 and base 10 together.